Hi guys. Now that we've established the building blocks of geometry with points, lines, and planes, we're going to discuss some definitions that we're going to be to use for geometry. So again, geometry is a math that was made up to explain what already exists. One example of that is the postulate. A postulate is a statement that we assume to be true. And we'll be using a lot of postulates in geometry. One postulate that you know of, that you probably didn't realize was a postulate, that you've been using since you've been about 1 or 2 years old, is the numbering system. Right? Everybody knows that we count 1, 2, 3. I can't prove that to you, but somewhere along the way, somebody set that system, and that's what we follow so that we're able to count. The other type of statement in geometry is called a theorem. A theorem is a statement that we can prove. Right? And the set of statements that you use to prove a theorem is called a proof. The first postulate we come to in geometry, and the one that is my favorite, is called the ruler postulate. And it is, just like you think of, a ruler. Right? A ruler allows us to set a scale. So you see on the screen there, 0 as a starting point, 1 that indicates 1 unit. At the bottom there is a larger scale. Again, 0 is a starting point, 1 to set the unit, right? But again, it's larger. So two of the systems that you know that use scales on the ruler are the English system, inches, and the metric system, millimeters and centimeters. Again, the ruler postulate allows us to set a scale. Now that we've defined the points, lines, and planes, we're going to use some postulates to explain how these terms interact. Now, I'm not going to read these to you, but you can stop the recording and read them through. What I'm going to do on the following screens is give you demonstrations of these. Please do not be concerned with the numbers. You're never going to be tested on a number. Right, the first one, it takes 2 points to define a line. So on the screen you can see 2 extremely exaggerated orange points. If I was to join those 2 points, it would form exactly one line. So the intersection between 2 points is exactly one line. The intersection of 2 lines is exactly 1 point. Now, you should recognize on the screen from Algebra 1, coordinate system. You have your x-axis, you have your y-axis. And you can see where they intersect is a point. And in graphing, we call that point the origin. And the last one is the intersection of 2 planes. On the screen, you will see a red plane and a purple plane. Where those 2 planes intersect, they form a line. In the diagram on the screen, you can see that that line is CD. So those are explanations of postulates, theorems, and some of the basic postulates that we use to explain the terms. And you don't so much need to memorize these as visualize them. Alright, be sure that you answer the questions that follow, and you can use this video as a resource at any time during the pod.